Good afternoon, everybody. We're cooking on gas. Everything's working. Marvellous. I'll give you all a few minutes to get logged in before I actually go through anything. Good afternoon, everybody. Oops, I've got the volume on my computer, so let me turn that off. That's more like it. You don't want to be listening to me twice, I know that much. Right, I'll let you all get logged in before I start doing anything. Hi Helen, how are you, love? Hi Debbie. Right, subtitles are off. Hi Gwen. I'll give everybody a minute or two before I start. Hi Sue. I'm quite looking forward to this one. It's a miserable day here, even though I've got a fuzzy head. Hi Jackie from Perth in Australia. What time is it there, Jackie? Hi Michelle, hi Bev, hi Sue. Good, good. I'm glad, Helen. Right, come on, where are you all? We've got a lot to do today. Hi Janice. There's a lot to get through today, so I knew it wouldn't be a particularly quick one. Surprise, surprise. So I'll just give everybody a second to get caught up. And I'll find my kitchen roll while I'm waiting, because we're going to be using a fair bit of kitchen roll today. Or I am. 8 PM. Oh, that's not too bad, Jackie. Hi David, hi Pam, hi Anne. June's made it, she's on the A1. You're watching me on the A1. That's amazing. That's amazing. Right, there's a lot to get through today, so I'm gonna get started. I thought we'd do something a little bit different. I am, thank you, Rose. I hope you are as well. And Sylvia. I wonder if Sylvia's forgot I'm on. Hi Julia. So, right, I'm going to get started. Can only stay for half an hour. Your husband's taking you. Oh, happy anniversary, Michelle. Bless you. Right, I'm going to take this off. And I'm going to do what I usually do. Oh, let's take that off. Press the button, Phil. There we go. And I'll quickly run through everything that I'm using today. Back to crafting after a really big up and recovering slowly. Oh, well, I hope you recover okay, Sandra. Bless you. Hi Jean. Hi. Right, so good afternoon to everybody I've not spoken to already. So first things first, please like and share the live for me, everybody, please. But don't everybody share it into the group, otherwise we end up with 15 different versions of it. So please like and share the post for me. So good afternoon, everybody. Everybody's starting to get here now. So it's a strange day here. I've woke up with a fuzzy head. The weather's really overcast. It's sticky and warm, humid, but it's drizzling with rain, which is not doing my head any favours. But let's crack on. Let's crack on. Right, so I'm just going to give you a little. This is the flower. These are the embellishments for this card, and that's the card. I'll go through all that in a second. So I'll quickly run through all the products that I'm going to be using today, because I know some people use these videos as a resource and you come back to them. So you can, hi Chrissy, hi Linda, hi to everybody I've not spoken to already. So I'll go through everything, and then you can, when you watch the video back, you can make your own lists and everything. I know Bev will be popping links on as I'm using things, just to save time for you all. So first things first, we're going to be using the white gesso, because we're going to be changing these into a coloured paint, a very pastel soft paint. So white gesso, and I've chosen these colours of the lustre powders, but I haven't decided yet which pink I'm using. So I'm definitely going to be using the verdigris, because I want a lovely soft green for this. So I'm going to be using the verdigris Radiant Lustre Powders. And then I've not decided yet between Summer Coral, I'll bring these closer, Summer Coral, Crushed Grape, and the Vintage Lavender. I'm I'm leaning towards vintage lavender, so I'm going to pop that one there, and I'll put the other two to one side. So that is verdigris and vintage lavender in the Radiant Lustre Powders, and that leads quite nicely into the pearls. So the pearls I've chosen are the Secret Escape ombre pearls. They are on the website. Everything I'm using is on the website, yeah. So the Secret Escape ombre pearls. Hi Judy. And because I'm using craft card, I tend to always favour brushed corduroy, but I'm going to change today and I'm going to go for ground espresso, so we get a really dark brown stamp. So I'm going to pop that one out of the way, keep the ground espresso. We've got Hailey. I'm using the Shabby Dragonfly dies. Yep, so I've just used this one twice. So the Shabby Dragonflies. And if you haven't yet got any of my Shabby flower dies, A, where have you been? And B, I really like these two together. So if you've been struggling, because there are four flowers in the series, but I've got here the Shabby Blossoms. Sorry, I'm lying to you. The Shabby Blooms, and the Shabby Daisies. So these two, if you look at them side by side, you can see that they're both quite slim petals. So these work really, really well together. Oh, Stu Francis, Chrissy, that's going back a bit. Oh, I could crush a grape. Sorry, Beth. So the Shabby Daisies are an absolute must-have for me because they go with all the other daisy dyes. And the Shabby Blooms are obviously a really good mix. So these work really well together. And I'm just going to bring this in and show you. So if I show you the layers I've got ready for this card look, you can see how the daisies fit quite nicely in there. So Shabby Blooms and Shabby Daisies. I'm also using, you know, this is my favourite. You must get fed up of me using this one. This is the Succulent Foliage. And you know it's my favourite. So Succulent Foliage. Then we have the Floaty Fronds. And I'm using the small one. And then I'm using the Trellis. So the texture dies, I'm using this one, the Trellis. And I'll just show you what that looks like cut out for any of you that might not have seen it before. I'm hoping we've got stock of that because I haven't actually looked. So that is the Trellis die, the Trellis texture die. That's how that cuts out. And I'm also using the Special Day Verse, which is, I keep using this a lot, so sorry everybody if we haven't got any. So Special Day Verse from the Verse Library. And I'm also using, I've not used this for ages, and you know it's one of my favourites. So the big backgrounds. This is the Vintage Ledger journal page, which I'm just going to bring that in so you can see all the detail in there. This is a must-have for me. I absolutely love this one. So you've got all these broken lines and everything. We're not using this as a whole. I'm just going to be using sections from this for the foreground and for the background in this card. And the giveaway today, so I am going to give away one of the big background stamps to somebody at the end of this Facebook Live. Don't know which one it'll be. It'll be a random stamp from the Big Backgrounds collection. So they're worth 15 quid, and it'll be whatever Karen picks at the time. So I will choose a name from all the comments at the end of this Facebook Live. So keep your comments coming, keep liking and sharing for me, and somebody will win one of the big background stamps. So let's get cracking. I'm just going to get a drink before I start. I've got my coffee, which I've had some. Listening while digging the garden. Digging the garden. Now that's dedication, and what you get later when you shut it. Oh, bless you. All I can tell you is I don't do any garden digging. I think that's amazing. My gardener does, but I don't do any garden digging. I do look after my flowers, but I don't do anything other than that. At least I'm being honest with you. Right, so we're doing something a little bit different. I don't think I've ever done a little fold back card. I used to love doing these and I did them all the time. And it's really simple. It's dead easy. It's just one big it's just one sheet of A4 card and then some layers. So it's literally, look, just an A5 card blank with the front folded back, so you get that lovely, like a half a gatefold. Really easy shape to work with as well, so dead easy to use. And I've created my panels for this. So I've gone with, you know I love my craft card. I absolutely love my craft card. So I've got craft and pure white. So this is the pure white cardstock. That's all right, Patricia. You not digging doesn't surprise you. Absolutely, you know me better than that. Yeah, there's a lot of bits to this card, David, but it will look fabulous at the end, I promise you. And I'm doing this, let me show you. I'm doing this simply because I've done a few cards lately with no flowers on, so I'm making up for lost time. Can you see how the daisies and the blooms work really well together? Aren't they beautiful? So I've created my panels with craft card and pure white, and I've also created a panel for the front and a panel for inside. I like to do the insides, as you know, so we're doing the inside of the card. And then I've also created a section for the inside for the verse, so the verse is going to go on there, and then we've got a panel that's going to sit on the front. So a little tip for you when you have a go at this card, I've made sure that the panel on the front is a little bit bigger than the verse panel for inside, so it covers it when you start sticking it all together. Right, so let's get cracking. So I'm going to put all the craft pieces away and we're going to work on the white panels. So I'm going to do the background first with the doodle, what do you call it? The vintage ledger page. Oops, move that. So all of these panels will have some of the vintage ledger on there. I'm trying to remember what I need to tell you. So the front panel, the one that's going to go on the very front of the card, you're only actually going to see a little bit of this, so don't waste your ink doing that inside section there, because it won't be seen. So, but I'm going to start on the back. So let's pop that out of the way. So I'm doing this in reverse. Yeah, I'm doing this in reverse. So we are going to add some colour, because I want some pearlescent colour on this. So we will get the pearlescent effect from the Radiant Lustre Powders. However, I want it to bleed into the stamped areas. So we're going to start with the vintage ledger, and I'm also going to use one of these All and Create stencils. So you can see where I've nicked this from. I've nicked it from the shop. This is one that I used a while ago on one of my canvases. So before I stamp, we're going to add a little bit of texture to the panels. Now I only want the leaves, so I'm just going to use the leaves. Can I show you? I'll show you this, look. It's a beautiful, beautiful big stencil. One thing I will tell you is that the All and Create stencils are quite thin. They're not thick like my Mylar ones, so you do need to be careful when you're inking through them. In fact, I'm probably going to use a smoothie instead of Lottie's tools. Let me just show you these lovely tools. Let me just show you these lovely tools, because I told everybody about these, and I've got some. So you can't get these from me or Julia, but you can get them from Lottie at Mama Makes. And I've treated myself to a couple of sets, really. And these are fabulous. And I did mention it on all my Facebook pages, because I think these are lovely. They're really comfortable to hold. And you've got that lovely domed sponge, yeah, which makes it really easy when you're going through. I'm not going to use them on this because this is a thin stencil. I'm going to use a smoothie when I get one. So let me just find a brown ink. Oh, I can't keep up. Yeah, you are better sticking them down really bad. I have that stencil, it's awesome. I must admit, the All and Create stencils are fabulous. I just wish they did them thicker. And I know why they do that, but I like thick stencils because I like to use thicker paste on them. So, first bit of kitchen, in fact, I'm going to use a dirty bit of kitchen roll. I'm recycling. So I just want to choose a few of these leaves, and I'm going to do them quite faintly in the background. So it's literally just going to be a little bit of texture around the edge. You don't need to do the middle, because this is where the verse is going to go. And I'm using the ground espresso. So I'm going to, oh, it's a Thambulance or a fire engine, one or the other. So I'll start there. I'm going to take off the excess ink, because I want this quite faint. And instead of rubbing on here, which is why I'm not using the tools, I'm just going to pat through that. I'll do a little bit on the front as well. So I'm not going for a complete coverage. I'm just going for bits of this around the edge. Oops, because you're only going to see the outer edges. And this will look nothing like this when I've finished, because I'm going to be watering. I'm going to be stamping over it. So let's just add a little bit of texture. Is it drizzly where you are? It's really drizzly here. The waste from your snowflake border dies makes a good little bunting trimmed down. Oh, good top tip, Alice. Top tip. So I've just got a little bit of texture on there, and I'm going to do the same to the two panels. So one panel will be inside, one panel will be on the front, which is the one you're only going to see a little bit of. So I'm only doing this bit here. You have to, what is it that everybody says? Trust the process. Trust the process. So that'll do for that. And then I'll do a little bit more on the inside panel. I'm going to flip that over and do it the opposite way around. There we go. So chuck that in the box. I don't need to clean it too much, because it's just Distress Oxide. So we've got that there now. We're now going to do some stamping. So I'm doing the stamping before I do. It's really overcast here, really muggy. So I'm going to do some stamping over this, and then we're going to create some puddles with the luster powders, and then leave them to dry while we work on the flowers. So I'm going to take this big stamp. Oh, thank you, Denise. I've sent for them but asked for all pink, Bev. Oh, of the little tools. Bev's asked for all pink. Oh, I've got all the different colours, look. Because the idea behind these is that you have one for each colour group. But I've got two lots because it won't work for me. Right, so I'm going to use this stamp, and not in the stamping platform or on an acrylic block. I'm going to do it freehand. So there is a right and a wrong way to this stamp, just in case you treat yourself and you get it. So you can see the numbers running down the side, look. So remember, this is the back panel, so I only need to do the outer edges. I'm just going to do a bit. So I'm ready to do it freehand like this. Oh, no, I need to be a bit neater. So I'm going to start with this corner. And the ground espresso is a lovely dark brown. So I've got some ink on there, and now I'm going to spritz it with water. So we get a lovely, only a little bit. I've got to do it over here, everybody. So we get a slightly watery effect. And I'm turning this onto its side so it's landscape, because I find it easier. Oops. If it behaves, come on, behave. I'm just going to stamp in this corner. Oh, that's lovely. And I'm going to use that same part again, I think. Just so I'm not getting ink everywhere. Trying to keep it straight. Oh, that just looks so lovely. So lovely. Now ignore it. I'm tormenting myself. And I'll carry on doing this until I've gone all the way around the edges. Doesn't matter if you miss a bit, doesn't matter if it's a bit watery, it's only going to be in the background. I am making this look difficult, I promise you it's not. So I'll miss a few sections there, and I'll do this bit here. Oh, that's lovely. I'm trying to keep it somewhat straight. Need a bit more there. Just need a little bit more in this corner because it needs to be dark to match the other corner. That's better. So I'll put that to one side and let that dry. Let me just show you the details in it, look. All the broken lines and everything. Fab. Instant texture. And now I'm going to do the front panel. So this is the front panel. And I know I only need to do around that edge with this one. Can you buy additional sponges? Yes, you can. They're on a website. Sounds like somebody's digging it next door as well. So I'll use the same section of the stamp. Keep mixing with water. And I'll try and get all the way across with that. That's a bit too pale now, so a little bit more ink. You know I don't do quick demos. So that's for the front. And this is going to be the panel that's inside. So I'm not going to cover the whole thing, but I am going to have a little bit more on here than on the front. So at the moment I've only used a corner of this stamp, and if you keep it on the acetate, it's easier to control it. It makes it a little bit firmer. Oops, that nearly wasn't straight, which would have just bugged me. And that will do for there, look. So it looks like a worn out ledger, because that's basically what it is. I'm going to clean this stamp now, put the lid on the ink pad, clean the stamp. This is going to take 3 hours. It better not, because I've got other jobs to do. I reckon, when I was planning it, I thought it'd take me about 2. So let's just see if it is more than 2 when I've done. So put that stamp out of the way. Right, what we're going to do now is create some little puddles. So I'm going to keep that kitchen roll, because I'll use it in a second. I'm going to create a few little puddles with the that's it, I'm checking I've got it the right way, with the lustre powders. So the lustre powders, if you just dilute them with water, you're gonna get lovely a lovely pearlescent shimmer to it. I'm just looking for my brushes. I'm just gonna get another brush, hang on a sec. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do, that'll do. So we're going to add some pearly puddles to this and make this all really watery, just to change it a little bit. So I'm just going to put some water on my mat. I'm going to do one colour at a time just because it's easier. And a teeny tiny bit of the powder. Let's just mix that in. I don't know whether you, oh, you can actually see that as I'm moving it. You can see the mica in there. Yeah. So I'm just going to dab this in sections. So because we've used a distress oxide. What's the matter? What have I missed? Because I've used a distress oxide, this is why I didn't worry about this being, whether it was dark or light or whatever. This is literally just going to be in the background. So when I add this to this, it's going to dilute it's going to interfere with the oxides. And that's exactly what I wanted. So remember, this is the background, so you're not going to see a lot of this. I'm only doing the outer edges. Just bear in mind that you might pick some colour up from the ink pad on your brush when you're doing this, so just check it as you're going along. Can you see where that's bleeding? That's exactly what I wanted. I'll leave a bit of space for the green. So the vintage lavender is a really beautiful colour. It's like an aged lavender. I love it. I'm just adding this. And I'll do the other panel. Oh, just add a bit more water. So remember, on the front panel you're not going to see this section. I will look at your comments in a bit. I can't see them at the minute. Right, so I'm going to clean that up, clean my brush, and repeat that with the verdigris, which is the green colour. Oh, let me just show you that, look. Let me just show you how this is all bleeding and watery, look. Isn't that fab? I don't particularly like runs from the top of the page, so I'm going to keep that as flat as I can for a while. Get your roll. And then we'll repeat with the verdigris. So the verdigris, once it's diluted, it actually looks a little bit like bundled sage. Distress, oops, far too much. That's far too much powder on there, Phill. So I'll use more water and just dilute it a bit. So can you see that lovely mica being activated with the water? I've got far too much on there, I'm mad with myself now. So I'm just dotting the green. I'm not covering the lavender. I'm just adding some of the green to it. And all of this card I'm going to pop in my box at the side, and I'm going to leave this to dry for as long as we possibly can. This is the inside panel. Trust me, when I've finished it will look pretty. I only do fabulous. Yeah, so pop that in there. and then again on the background piece. So you can see that lovely verdigris brown, it's beautiful. Verdigris green. Just dilute that a little bit. I would never get time to do this on telly, would I? And just get a bit more water on there. The more water you use, the more dilute the colour, obviously. I don't know whether you can see, I'll try and show you in a second. The verdigris has lots and lots of sparkle in it. Right, so I'm going to pop that to I'll put that to one side. You can just see there, look, if I just wiggle it a little bit, you can see the sparkle in the verdigris. Right, I'm going to put that to one side. Remember, I haven't used watercolour card either. This is regular cardstock, pure white. And it will take some water. I've used quite a bit there. You will get a better result using my hot press watercolor card, but I like pure white, as you know. So let's just show you that. Let's just show you the sparkle you get in verdigris. Can you see the sparkle in that compared to the vintage lavender? But these two colours together are stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. Very, very shabby chic, very vintage. Right, so we've got those panels drying in the box, and I'll leave them to the very end until we've done all the flowers and everything. I only do fabulous. Do you like that, Anne? I only do fab. Hiya, Sylvia, darling. I wondered if you were here. I know you love green. Right, so let's get Sylvia, if you love green, you need the verdigris powder. So this clock here is from, oh, I forgot to show you something. Hang on 1 second, everybody. I forgot to show you the new antique gold luster card. This is a limited edition. This is a limited edition luster card. And it's only because I ordered it in error. And when it came, I thought, oh my God, that's beautiful. Why have we not had that before? But it's a limited edition colour. So, antique gold. I'll try not to dazzle you. And I've got the other two out just so you can compare them. So this is the new gold. It is on the website, the antique gold. It is on the website, but I know people have found it already. So that is the new gold, that is the pale gold, and this is the antique gold. It's beautiful. If I'd have been using pearly card with this, luster card, this antique gold would have been perfect with it. Let me just show you. Look at it with the olive grove. Oh, that's stunning, stunning, stunning. So, Judy, if you ain't got it, you better get collecting before it's gone. Because I probably won't restock the antique gold because it was an error. But that's the difference between the three different golds. And of course they're all double-sided still. I meant to show you last week and I just completely forgot. Completely forgot. So the clock, which we are going to paint. So the clock, I knew you would, Judy. You need to be sharpish, I think, I'm not going to say I'm never going to restock it because I ordered it in error and it's my fault. I can't blame anybody except for me, but I absolutely love it. So I've took a box full. I've got a box full like that. So get on the website quick. Right, so I'm using the clock, and the clock grey board comes in the tray sheet 8x8 grey board pack. No more pinks, Jennifer. I've exhausted all the luster cards that are currently available. The only ones I've not had, I don't particularly like. So the clock is from the 8x8 tray chic grey board pack, which is, if we've got any, on the website. I'm going to paint that with the gesso first. So we're going to give it a coat with plain gesso. I am getting to the flowers, but I've purposefully left the flowers because the flowers will take time, and the longer I can leave these backgrounds. Let me show you, look, now it's drying a bit. There you go, look, you can see the shimmer in them now. So the longer I can leave the backgrounds, the better. Yeah, you might do, Bev, but if I don't, you should know me well enough to know that if I don't like it, I ain't selling it. So little brush, let me just get a little brush for this. I'm going to paint this with gesso. So I don't need to cover this perfectly, I just want to give it a white base. I better get a drink. Is Di here? Di's supposed to remind me to drink. So I'm not worried about the insides or anything. It's you're not really going to see. You're not really going to see that. So we've got I'm from New Mexico. We've got. Hang on, I'm trying to think. I need to go back to the top. Oops. Oh, what have I just clicked? Oh, I've just clicked something. Oh, bear with me a sec, everybody. Does the lavender colour need to dry before putting on the green? No, Jackie. Sorry, I can't keep up with the comments while I'm working, but I will look back later. No, it absolutely doesn't. So the powders, as long as you don't muddy them together, where they overlap, you'll just get a combination of the two colours. They're not like the really good quality powders. If you haven't had the Lustre powders, treat yourself to a couple. So we've got them on the website in kits or sets of 5, but you can buy them also individually. So that means you can just cherry pick your favourite colours if you want that. I forgot what I was saying now. Right, so we've just given that a little base coat of white, and I'll pop that to one side to dry. I'm going to get a drink before I move on to the next bit, because the next bit is where it starts getting into the fun stage. I'll pop that over there. This is my favourite bit. I'm still live, good. I don't know where I clicked. Jean from Teesside, woohoo! Hi Julie, not to worry. Come on, Mr. M, everybody loves pink. Not everybody. Bev from Chef. Right, so let's start with these flowers. I'm just wondering whether to give you a choice or whether to just do what I was going to do. I might give you the choice. So on my mat, I've got, just so you can see where my head is going with this, I've got the Shabby Blooms, and where I've got white Shabby Blooms, I've got a craft card daisy. I'll bring that in and show you. So I've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 layers on this flower, but there is only this one with 5 layers. So where I've got white blooms, we've got craft daisy, and on the daisy one, where I've got the craft daisy, I've got the white bloom. So that I'm going to use 2 different colours on this. We've got some individual flowers as well. So before I start this, Judy from Flitwick in Bedfordshire. Oh, hi Enid, not to worry, you can watch the video again. Are you making all those flowers live? I am, Julia, but it won't take long, don't worry. So I've got a couple of choices now. Because we're going to paint these, we're going to give them a chalky finish using the Lustre powders. So I can either colour them separately. So we've got like a wash over each petal, or I can put it on my mat and just dab it in. So I'm going to let you choose. So the first 3 people to tell me, colour the petals or dab it in. So I'm going to go with the majority from the first 3. So just put petals or dab. Petals or dab. Doesn't matter to me because they both look fabulous. Just managed to collect. Hi Jacqueline, you've only just got through. Crikey. So come on, petals or dab. So paint the petals or dab in the colour. You don't pronounce the you don't pronounce the W. Flittic. Dab, colour. Oh crikey. Dab, colour, colour. Right, so the first 3 people, out of the first 3, we've got colour the petals as the majority, so that's what we're going to do. So let's create a paint using the lustre powders and the gesso. So I'm using my big brush for this. So I'm going to take some gesso, and then I'm going to take a little bit of powder. Where's my little spatula? Hang on, let me grab my spatula. I'm going to grab my spatula. So we've got some gesso on the mat. I'm just going to get a bit more because I think I've been a bit tight there. And I'm going to take a little bit of the powder. So this is the vintage lavender. So I've got a little bit of the powder on there, and we're going to mix that in. So I know I've told you all this already. I'll do it with my brush. So what we're creating is, I don't know whether you can see that change colour. Can you see that? It's really difficult for me to show you that. I'll make it a bit stronger. Normally I would leave that as it is because it's a very, very pale lavender, but I'll make it stronger just so you can see, the colour. That's probably too strong now. So I'm mixing. There you go, you can see that better now. So what we've made, look, is a lavender chalk paint. And I'm just going to give it a squirt of water, just so it doesn't dry up too quick because it's really hot in my room. And I'll flick from the edge of each petal. Oh, that colour is amazing. If you haven't got the vintage lavender lustre powder, let me show you. Isn't that gorgeous? So we've created our own chalk paint to do that. I'm not going all the way down because I don't need to. So bear with. Julia, you do make me laugh. When do you think I was prepping this demo? Are you making all those flowers now? Well, if I'd have prepped it last night, I maybe would have done some more. But I haven't, so the craft, I'm leaving craft. I don't know that I've told you this either. You can actually turn this into texture paste as well. So you can create a coloured texture paste as well. So all I would do if I wanted this to be a paste, I would use a little bit more gesso, and then you would use some of my texture medium and mix all that in, and then you get a coloured texture paste as well. This is why I didn't bother creating lots of different coloured texture paste. You don't need them. You can make your own from the paint. So nearly done. So I'm not worried about it being complete coverage because they're meant to be shabby. And and indeed there will be at the end when I've finished. Oh, look at that. Yeah, you could use it through your stencils as well. Yeah, do it all live, Julia. Do it all live. So what I'm doing, obviously that's a shame now because it's wasted. Let me see if I can use some of that. Let me go on to the, let me just use a bit on the white dragonfly. Oh, that's a nice green van. Sadly, it doesn't come on our street because there's no kids. Isn't that lovely? Right, clean my brush. Oh, that was the kitchen roll I've just knocked off. Yeah, we've heard you. Go on, turn it off. Oh, I could just eat a cornetto. Could just eat a cornetto. Oh, while I'm doing all these faffy bits, let me just remind you. Let me put this in. Look at this I've discovered, Julia. I've discovered you can do this as well. Wait, you'll see it in the corner in a minute. It probably will, Julia. Yeah. Has it come up on the screen yet? Oh, there's a bit of a time delay today. Look at that. In the corner. Sentimentally yours. Or I can do it big like this. Isn't that fab? Right, so I'm going to pop these to one side. Let those dry. I'll just show you how that's drying, look. So this is a chalky finish we've got on there. And that is dry already. So we're going to recreate that on the craft flowers. In the verdigris. So a bit of kitchen roll. I'm trying to reuse kitchen roll that I've started using already, so I'm not wasting it. So we're going to do exactly the same thing with the verdigris. Just make sure I've got all that lavender out of my brush. And I haven't, not yet. It lasts for ages. Do make sure your brush is cleaner than mine before you do it. No, I'm not going to use that because I know what I'm going to do. I'll contaminate my brush. So I don't need as much for the green. I'm cleaning my brushes in a jar at the side, just so you know. I like to do this because I'll see if I can add mine. My logo isn't as good as yours though. I could do you one, Julia. Do you want me to do you one? Oh. I could do you a fancy logo, darling. So let's just put a bit of this verdigris. That's too much. And I'll mix these together. Oh, look at this colour. This colour is amazing. This colour is fabulous. How can I show you this colour? Can you see it? That is just beautiful. So I'm going to do the same thing again with the daisies. And because we've made it into a chalk paint, you can actually go over the craft card, which is what I'm doing. So we'll get that lovely green finish on top of craft card, which is traditionally not so easy to paint over. I've got way too much on there, but I'm having a good time. Oh, that's lush. if you like vintage and you like shabby chic, you need to be getting the verdigris and the vintage lavender powders, because they are just fabulous. Let me show you them. That colour is stunning. I love it. Love, 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 love it. Right, so I'll put that to one side. I'm going to clean up. Oh, I'll do my other dragonfly. So I've got a craft dragonfly. So the craft dragonfly has now been given the green treatment. Yeah, they've got a thing about you, Julia, haven't they, Facebook? Oh yeah, I'll do you a logo, darling. Oh my God, Julia, all the years you've known me, I could have bloody done you one. I never even thought about it. Right. Here we go. Oh, Debbie, you need to have craft card in your life. Don't buy cheap stuff though, get my good stuff. Because my craft card is double-sided and it's the same both sides. Whereas some of the cheapest stuff is just dodgy on the reverse, it looks horrible. I love craft card, love it, love it, love it. And you can use it with any colour, it looks nice with blues, it looks nice with pinks, with black, with green. I didn't do very well at drinking, did I? Beautiful, Jean, these colours. Well, you know I like my vintage tones. Right, so let's have a look at the backgrounds and see what's happening to them. Oh, they're drying lovely. Let me just wiggle this for you. Oh, that's just so lovely. So you can see where the shimmer is from the powders. Not quite dry yet, so I'm going to leave them a little bit longer. Look. You can see it's still drying there. I might give that a hand. Right, so these flowers that I've got on here are now going to be shaped. So I'll start with the pink one, the lavender ones, because they should be dry now. So we'll start with the lavender ones. Is that not beautiful? And we'll start shaping these. So all I'm going to do with these 44 craft, but not the two. Mr. M, how many plain cardstock colours have you got? 44 of the regular and 20 lustres, including the ancient gold. So I'm literally pointing these up, look, so I'm just pushing my thumb into the middle. This is the quickest way for me to do the flowers, and this is one of my favourite ways. So you can either go up, which is what I'm doing here, look, which kind of looks a bit carnation-like when you put the flower together. I don't do what most people do with the flower dies and say, oh, it's a carnation or it's a rose or whatever. I like to do shapes that I like and shapes that you can change, give you lots of different options. So you want a set of flower dies to do more than one thing, and that's what I do. So I'm just shaping these up, and then we're going to stick these together. It won't take me too long to do these. I do these in my sleep. Julia, before you go, try and find me something that you like the look of, logo-wise, and send me a picture. And the daisy, so the daisy that's going to sit in there, I'm shaping it back. In fact, I don't even need to use my tweezers and my shaping tool. And that's for that. So I'm just working my way around. Or I can just use your names. I'll text you in a bit, Julia. So I'm just working my way around. It doesn't take 2 minutes. Yeah, absolutely, Judith. I love dies that do more than one thing. So I'm pointing these up. You could quite easily point them backwards for a different look again. If you've not got any of the Shabby flower dies, these are the two I would tell you to get first. So the Shabby Blooms and the Shabby Daisies, because they just look really nice together. And obviously the different ways you can shape them just mean they go on forever. So I'm just working my way around. I know I'm doing this really quick. I would normally use my tweezers, but I'm doing this quick for the sake of your sanity. So I'm just working my way around. And I tried to cheat there and it didn't work. That's what you get, Phil, for trying to cheat. That'll teach me. Sorry I'm late, just back from a week in Devon. Oh, fabulous, Brenda. I hope you had a good time. So I'm just finishing off, and then the daisies are even quicker than this. Nearly done, nearly done. Right, so let's show you how I put these together. Where's my mat? So I've got my foam mat. I'm just going to glue these together. How long have I been? I have not done bad. We've only been an hour. I don't think this will take 2 hours. I think we'll be done before that. So I'm making one big flower and all the rest are going to be smaller. So this will be the feature. This will be the feature one. Right. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm just working my way around. So while I'm just doing these boring bits, I'll pop a few of these lovely little screens on, which I'm sure most of you know all this already. But for anybody who is new, that's the website. And the girls at the shop are the best at getting stuff out as quickly as possible. So everything that I've used should be on the website, assuming it's in stock. So that's that. You can also find me on Twitter if you're on there. And that's my Twitter name, which I know is really complicated. There's a bit of a delay today between what's on my iPad and what's on my computer screen. Yep, so you find me on Twitter using that name. And you can also find me on Instagram with the same name. And remember, you can find our lovely Facebook group. If you've not already asked to join our Facebook group, just you'll find the links on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page, but if it's quicker for you, you can just search in the Facebook search bar for Crafting with Phill Martin and Sentimentally Yours. And you'll find the group there. Oops, you do have to, where have I missed that from? Oh, it's too late then. You do have to accept the rules on Facebook before I let you in. And also, if you want to subscribe to my channel on YouTube, it's the same name as the Facebook group. So go onto YouTube, Michael Jean, my dad's name. So if you want to subscribe to my channel on YouTube, it's the same name as the Facebook group. So you just search for Crafting with Phill Martin and Sentimentally Yours. So for the daisies, I'm just going to shape these backwards. So I'm shaping the daisies backwards. I just thought it was something nice to show you. It's nice to see something, nice to see the flower dyes used in a different way, and all the different products, the gesso, the lustre powders, everything works together. So I'm leaving that plain white. And that's going in the middle of there. I'll do the same with this one. I've nearly done with the flowers. I promise you I will look back at all the comments later. Malcolm, no, Chrissy, TikTok, I find TikTok just really ridiculous. I can't see the point in it. I'd much rather do you, if I was going to do a TikTok video, I would much rather do you a Facebook one. I just can't see the point in it. I did sign up to TikTok last year, I think, but I've never done anything with it. Can't see the point. I'd rather educate you and teach you and do Facebook lives and YouTube lives. So for those of you that don't know, I'm going to be doing, well, when I'm not busy with anything else, I am hoping to do you a YouTube live every Tuesday evening at 7 PM. And I'm hoping to do your Facebook lives every Saturday at 1 PM. So you should get, when I'm not too busy, I'll let you know if it changes, obviously. So you should get twice a week. And this is a conscious decision, and you will notice some changes coming up. Changes that I've implemented myself. I also may have a date for the next online workshop. So keep an eye out on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page over the weekend. It won't be today because I've got jobs to do this afternoon. But I will maybe post something in the next few days. So this is the colour scheme that we've got going on, look. Aren't they beautiful? The pinks and the green, the lavenders and the greens. I don't know why I'm saying pink, because it's not pink. So now I'm going to see if the pearls match nicely, and if they do, I'll use them. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Let me just try. I might just go plain white. I'm going to go plain white. That green's a little bit too strong. So I'm going plain white. I'm a bit boring when it comes to pearls. So the flowers are not quite finished yet, because they're going to be splattered in a minute. So this is a lovely little top tip for you. Because you know I like a little splatter, and we're going to splatter these with just plain white gesso. So I've shaped my flowers all, and the pearls are going in before I splatter. I'm assuming we've got plain white pearls in stock. because I use them constantly. That's alright, Judith, you just get bits when you can. Will there be any more old gems coming back in? Are they out of stock, Michelle? Jean's been muted. Poor Jean. Oh, bless you. Poor Jean. You're like Julie, I think Facebook's got it in for you. So I'm popping all the pearls in first. And then we'll... Oops, look at that, I was greedy, 2 at once. And then I'll splatter them while we stick the layers together. It's just a couple of flowers on this card. I'm making up for the ones that we didn't have over the last couple of weeks. Right, so almost done. Two more. Right. So all the flowers are pearled. So I'm just going to pop the flowers now into the box at the side. That waxed it out later is your favourite toy, yeah, absolutely. What you're saying, you please. No, poor G. So I've got my box at the side. I'm just going to pop the flowers in. And I'm also going to pop in, I am still going to do the white ones, because if the gesso lands on it, you get a different shade of white. Oh, forgot the pearl on that. That was well spotted. I will pop this video on the YouTube channel later as well. I keep forgetting to do it. I'm trying to do you a different different videos for YouTube, so you don't get bored. Oh, thank you. So, you know, I don't do quick and easy, but I like to hopefully teach you things while we're having a laugh. So sponge mat on the floor. I'm going to get a little bit of gesso. I'm going to take my splatter brush, a little bit of gesso. I'm also going to pop in, I'm going to pop in the box the 2 dragonflies. And I'm also going to pop in the leafy fronds, which is one of my favourite accessory leaves, so they get some gesso on them as well. So gesso on my mat, squirt it with water. I'm using the fan brush, but it doesn't matter whether you've got one of these or not, you can do it with an ordinary brush. So I'm not covering them, I'm just giving them a little dusting. Now, you know when I said I'm not covering them, I might have lied. Last one. Oh, they look beautiful. I'm having a lovely time, I must admit. I love doing this when it's a Saturday afternoon and I'm not up to my neck in work. This is my escape. So I'll put the flowers on the foam mat and show you while they're drying. I'm just getting them, bear with me a sec. Oops, just drop that one upside down, there you go. Nearly done, nearly done. Last one. Oh, that went straight to my head. So let's just bring them in and let you see what I've done to them. So you can see, look, I've not gone mad with the gesso. We've just got some light little flakes. Aren't they pretty? So I'm going to let those dry and we'll come back to the layers. And let's see if these are dry now. We are getting there, slowly but surely. Oh, thank you, Michelle. You haven't put the wrong lid on. Wrong lid on what? Oh, bugger, I forgot to do that. I'll come back to that in a minute. I haven't put the wrong lid on. Oh, no, you don't mean me, Jean. You're talking to somebody else. Right, so we've now got these lovely, lovely backgrounds. Let me just show you again now, because these have dried. So what we're going to do is just soften the edges of this. So we're going to look at that verdigris. Where is it? Oh, look at that colour. That is fabulous. So you can still see some of the stenciling from underneath. And what we're going to do now is take the gesso brush again. I'll just get my kitchen roll, it's fell off the desk. Oh, of course it's fell right down the back. Oh, got you. Well, I'm having a lovely time. How long have we been We've not, hey, that's not bad. It's only an hour and 13. We've had longer Facebook lives than this. So we're just going to soften these edges now using some gesso. And really I need a dry brush. Let's see if I've got another brush on my desk. And of course I have, but it's too small, so let me get another big one. So a little tip for you if you're gonna have a go at this. I'm gonna do it on the mat actually. So to just soften the edges of the of these layers, you don't have to do this, but I quite like doing this. It just softens it a little bit. That one's still a little bit damp, or it was till I've just rubbed it all off. So you need to do this with a dry brush. So we're dry brushing with gesso. So don't use one of your wet brushes, because what it does is it just goes over the top. What background stamp is it, please? It is, if I can find that, oops, it's that one that's just fell off my other desk. It's the Vintage Ledger. The Vintage Ledger journal page. I don't know where I've put the packet for it. Oh, it's here. There you go, lot. Vintage Ledger journal page. It's one that I use a lot. Hi Janice, I didn't see you sneak in. So we're going to dry brush. We're going to dry brush the edges of this now. So just dip it in your gesso, take off some of the excess, and then just flick along the edges. So remember, gesso dries transparent. So we're not covering this. We're just softening the edge. Oops. Oh, he says, having covered that bit. Always, always, always keep your gesso going in the same directions. So when you're doing the edges, for example, you'll notice that I went like this instead of across. So let me just show you now how that softens it. Look, can you see? Where are we? So if you look at the difference between the two corners, I've completely softened those hard edges. I would normally do this on kitchen roll, but it's easy for you to see on my mat, which is why I've gone onto my mat. So just bear with me now while I work my way around. We have still got some other stamping to do. I've got the verse to do. This would have been a good one for YouTube, wouldn't it? But I know not everybody's on YouTube. But I am, as me and Julia are both trying to build our YouTube channels up. So if you haven't subscribed to me and Julia, please do it. It's free to subscribe. And I'm going to be doing a live on YouTube every Tuesday evening. Unless I'm away or unless I'm on telly. That just looks so nice. I'm going to be a little bit heavier on that corner. There we go. That looks so lovely. And although you know I don't do messy, I actually do messy, as long as it looks pretty and fabulous when it's finished. And you can clean it up. I don't do a mess that you can't clean up. So just get a bit more on that edge there. So what we've got now, let me show you. So we've still got, because I've done dry brushing with the gesso, if I just wiggle that, look, I've not covered up the pearlescent sheen from the powders. All I've literally done is softened the edges of the card. That's all I've done to that, and it just gives it's the finishing touch, it's details. You're a mucky pup today, I am, aren't I? But you know what? I'm having a fabulous time. And I don't mind that because I can jump straight into the shower and it won't matter. This is why I like gesso. It's water soluble, so you know it's going to come off your mats and everything. And by the time I've cleaned my mat, that edge, the edges on the card that I've just done will be dry. So we can start the matting and layering process. This is actually easier with a sponge, by the way, cloth. Because the wipes tend to just move it around a bit. How about that? Who said you can't do messy and keep it clean? Because you absolutely can. Yeah, you see me Tuesday night on YouTube, 7 PM. Got a different demo planned for you. So let's get these layers stuck together now. So as you know, you all know well enough by now that when you're using regular cardstock and you're using wet products on regular cardstock, you're inevitably going to get buckling and kinking and things like that. So had I have got more time, you know what I would have done? I would have misted the back with water, popped it on my mat face down with a tub of dyes or a heavy weight over the top, and then that would flatten it out. We've not got the luxury of that time, so I'm going to do it just with glue. If I can get the glue to work. There we go. And I'm still going to pop a heavy weight on this once I've put the layer on. So the heavy weight being one of my little tubs of dyes. Let me just grab one. So I've just got the foliage ones, so I'm going to pop that on the side here. Oops. And just sit it underneath the weight. And I'll do the same with the other layers while we're waiting. And then we can stamp the verse and the sentiment. There's absolutely no point me doing a demo for you if you're not going to learn anything. Which is why I tend to try and always do it from scratch. Sometimes I do have the flowers made up, but I wanted to show you how to do them. That's for my sentiment. And I'm going to get a drink. It's absolutely roasted in my room. I have got the fan on in the background. I don't know whether you can hear it, but I've got it on low and it's still roasting in here. So just hold that for a second to grab. And then pop that underneath my mat. So those layers now are flattening for us underneath the weight of the dyes. Phill, is there a list of all the products you've used today? Bev's put one in the group already. Oh, ain't she good? This is exactly why I want to watch to learn. Well, hopefully you are learning. Right, so let's, and remember as well, a lot of the things that I show you, you can adapt to your own style as well. Oh, I'm mad about that. So we've now got the inside panel for the verse. And we're using the when I find it. Let me just make some space. That's my pearls. Here it is. So we're using the Special Day verse from the new verse library. I haven't done any inking or anything around this part. I've left it clear. And I've made sure that this piece of card is big enough. So if you were making this to actually send to somebody, you've still got enough space to write to and whoever it's to and love from and all that palaver. So just get that on there. Looks straight to me, so we'll soon find out. I'm going to stamp this in the ground espresso. So everybody always favours walnut stain in the Distress Oxide browns, but I love ground espresso because it's a really dark brown, and obviously when you use water with it you get lovely soft tones of brown as well. So because I know I'm using, well, you can see how much I've used that. Look at the threads breaking off it. So because I know I'm using an oxide, I'll probably need to go in twice, just so we get a lovely dark tone of the brown. to go in again. It's just because it's a distress oxide, they are still water based, so sometimes you need to go in a second time or even a third. Oh, that looks fabulous. Oh, look at that on the D. Oh, you little swine. Special day. I've got a little bit of glitter. Oh, I can't believe that. I don't know whether you can see this. Can you see that little brown fleck there? Oops. Is actually a piece of Diamond Dazzle. One fleck of Diamond Dazzle glitter that has left a circle on the word day. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So I'm doing nothing else to that. I've left it completely clean. And that's going to go straight onto the craft layer to go inside the card. And then it's just a matter of assembly. So we are getting there. So I reckon another 15-20 minutes and we'll be done. So knowing... Oh, bugger, I've used the wrong piece. Oh, Phil, you need a day off. So that should be on there. That's hilarious. Bear with me a sec. I need to chop another piece up now. Oh, make yourself a drink. I'm just chopping bits of card up. Hilarious. Hilarious. That's so funny. So funny. That is hilarious. See, it happens to everybody. Yeah, I'll be done by 5, Patricia. Oh, that's brilliant. Right, so I'm now going to stamp the verse. And we'll get it perfect this time. Make sure it's dry. That's hilarious. Oh, that's brilliant. Right, let's just put that back in the middle. See, it happens to everybody. Oh, make yourself a drink a bit early. Oh, crikey. Well, I've still got this one. It's gone cold now. Oh dear. Of course I'm perfect, Bev. Jennifer. I was doing that just to show you what not to do, obviously. So we'll go again. We'll go again. I'm not going to tell you, but Julia did something on hers as well this morning, so it must be the weather. It must be the weather. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. At least we've got a perfect stamp this time. There we go. So now we've got no dot on the D. See, I meant to do it. Told you. Right, let's get rid of that. I think that's got gesso in it. So you know when I said we'd be 15 minutes, we might actually be a little bit longer. Yeah, blame the weather. Oh yeah, there will be Diamond Dazzle. Oh yeah, not on the stamp, but there will be on the card. Oh, and look, it fits perfectly. Perfect. So let that dry. While that's drying, we will stick the layers in the card. We'll stick these layers in the card. So starting at the back. So if you look, these aren't too bad now, look. As soon as you put them under the weight, it does flatten them. So we'll start at the back and work our way around. Oops. So the dark corner is in the back. I will take a photo of this later as well and put it on the I'll put it on the page. I usually have to sit down for an hour after I've done a live and eat something. So this is now going on the inside panel. The only reason I like to do the inside panel is it gives a bit of weight to your card and it looks like we've finished it properly. And then this one is for the front panel. That's just brilliant. So we've now created a lovely 3-panel card. Well, I'm just going to show you how to fix that, because can you see there, look, it's pinged up a bit. That's because the card was still damp. So let me show you how to fix that. So I put a little bit of glue, look, on my mat. If you've got your flat nose tweezers like I love these, yeah. So if you get your flat nose tweezers and then just scrape some of that glue up. You can slide it underneath the card that's sticking up. I think I've done it now. I've done it now, so I don't need any more. Little tip for you. So let's just hold that down for a sec. No, it's not upside down, it's fine. No, it's fine. Oh, maybe I have. Have I? No, it's right, it's fine. It's fine. Because the thing is at the bottom, look. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same. Right. So the panel that I've got for the front of the card, which is the one that I've just had to chop up again, I'm leaving that one just plain. And the reason I'm leaving that plain is because we're going to have a big display of the flowers, on there. So no ink, no gesso, no colour, just plain white. You could, if you wanted to, use an embossing folder on this piece. I chose not to, simply because we've got all that texture from the background stamp going on. And I just think sometimes it's nice to have the, can you see, look? It's nice to have the separation. So we've got a bit of a gap there, which is what we wanted. Let's pop the verse in. Oops. So I'm going to pop that in there, look. Do you know what, it's tormenting me now, is that upside down? I don't think it really matters because it's only texture, I can't actually tell. So I've left that in flat, that's just gone in flat. This is now going on pads there, so just on 1/2 on foam tape. And the clock that I should have painted with the chalk paint and I forgot. So the clock, look, I should have painted that with the chalk paint, but I'm not going to make more chalk paint just for that. I'll glitter it instead. So I'm going to show you a really, really quick and easy way to glitter grey board and MDF. Let's just pop that on. So that will now fit in the centre. So that's now in the centre. So you can see where we're going with that look. And I'm just going to grab my glue with the brush. If you haven't treated yourself to one of these treated, yeah, absolutely, Jean. Yeah, you could have, if we'd have not used the flowers and we'd have used cog dies instead, the cogs or the gears and everything, you could absolutely make this a masculine card. So if you haven't treated yourself or treated, whatever, to the glue with the brush, with the built-in brush, this is fabulous. You can see how thick this glue is. This is fabulous for glittering your grey board, your MDF and stuff like that. So I'm just going to show you what happens when you put it over the top. Well, you can actually see, look, if I just do that, you can you see where the stringy bits go in? But this glue is so good. This glue is so good. It pulls back, so that little stringy bit that you see there, look, as the glue dries, wait, because everywhere else it's separated, look, even here, look, it's separating. So just give it a second and it separates. It's fabulous. And then I can just dunk that in the Diamond Dazzle. Oh, it looks pretty, so maybe that was a happy accident. I think that we can call that a happy accident because it actually looks really pretty with the glitter on. Yeah, absolutely. Right, so let's get this on. We've still got a sentiment to do. In fact, I'm going to use it for the back. I've got to tell you as well, I've got about 6 of these. I've got about 6 of these tubs with the brush, but that is my first one, and I've been using that a few years. It's because you only use it now and again. You don't need to use it a lot. So let's just pop that in place. So let's get the 12 in the right place. So I'm going to have that a little bit skew. Just hold that down for a second. Just let it grab onto the card. You obviously could do this when the layer is still separate. Oh, the glue's dripped out onto my desk. Little swing. There we go. That's pretty, look. And now the flowers are going to be around it. I've just creaked my back. Oh, oh, oh. Oh. Right, so flowers. So I'm not actually going to glitter these flowers. I know you're all in shock. I'm going to leave the flowers non-glittered, because when this is dried properly, I'll go around the white bits or the craft bits and glitter it then. But I am going to do the dragonflies. I love these dragonflies. They're so pretty. Just poke the wings up. And do a bit of glue on the edge. I'm not covering it with glue, glitter. Just going to do the tips of the wings and the antenna. Do you know what? I can't think of any better way to spend a Saturday afternoon when the weather's like this. It's not raining here, but it is still really muggy. So I've just glittered the tips of the wings and the antennae. And now we're going to start the assembly. So I've got the trellis die already cut out. I've got the succulent foliage. There's one of these missing. There should be 4. What is that? So this is the fun part for me. The sentiment is going to be tucked in last. We're going to do a little border sentiment, but the flowers are going on first so I can see what space I've got. So the succulent foliage, this is the small die of the two. There are 2 different sizes in there, as you know, and I'm only using the 3 end flowers, leaves. So I'm snipping off those and just making it a three leaf, three frond. Yeah, we'll go with 3 frond. No glitter. Might add it later. I've not decided yet. So flowers. So my sentiment is going on a strip. I'm going to use the With Love on Your Special Day strip there, and it's going to go across there. So my big flower needs to start here. So pin flare, cocktail stick, the trellis, I'm just going to tear that down so I can tuck sections of it in a bit. So some of these sections will just be tucked in. Just get a couple more. Don't say what, you might get put in Facebook jail. I'll just do a couple more. And don't waste the bit that's left over because you can use it again, obviously. And I don't know whether you've noticed, up here, look, I've kept some of the diamonds that fell out of the die. So I've kept some of the waste from the diamond trellis. So flowers first. Here we go. Big one first. And I'm making the big one quite high, so I can tuck some of the little ones underneath. Come down there a bit more. And now we'll put the big daisy in. It's up to you how you put these on. It's personal preference, whether you have lots of flowers, couple of flowers, whatever. We could have even not had flowers on there, and we could have had a different like I say, the embossing folder with a different background on it, or regular sentiment, whatever you like. So I'm just going to pop the glue gel on these, try and save a little bit of time. The trellis is going to be tucked in. I might put one on now. I might put one on now, yeah. It's just easier. Normally I would tuck the texture dies in after the flowers have gone on, but I'm going to pop this one on now. And I'll pop one at the bottom on now as well. Don't you just love these dies that you can just tear apart? Working my way around. Oops, that was lucky. So over the clock, and then the rest I will tuck on afterwards. So a little daisy. Can you hear my chair rattling every time I move? Let's go here. And let's go there. And then all these little ones can be tucked underneath. So the leaves and the fronds are going to be tucked in last. I'm just going to tuck another bit of this in, just because it's easier at this stage. How long have I been? I estimated 2 hours, and we are not far off 2 hours. So I wasn't far off. Bring that up so you can see what I'm doing. Oops, I'm going to keep a couple of the little flowers. Let's keep that one. Keep those two. Put these on. So I'm keeping a couple of the small flowers just for after I've done the sentiment, so I can put them at the edge of the sentiment. Grace, it will be on YouTube later. It's not at the minute because this is a Facebook live. I'm trying to keep the YouTube and the Facebook separate, so you get more. But I will upload this to YouTube because I do know some people use YouTube and don't use Facebook, and vice versa. Nearly done. We are getting there, I promise you. Julia said we'd be 3 hours. Well, we're not, we're 2. So let's see where I'm putting these. So I think I'll have the craft one on the front and the lavender one inside. Now this is why I always keep a few flowers just plain white. It breaks up. It breaks up the blocks of colour. Cut that the wrong side. Bear with me because I am getting there. I need another small one in white, so I'm going to rob that one. I just want to break up the colour there. Right, so I've saved those two for the sentiment. So before I put the leaves in, that's where we're at. So before I put the leaves in, we're going to stamp the sentiment so that I can pop the sentiment in position. And I'm just going to, just bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to see if I can find a thinner strip from my scraps from my matting and layering. Bloody marvellous, look at that. Always keep your strips from your matting and layering because that's perfect. So this is going on the platform just to make sure I don't miss it. And now my desk's getting messy. Or untidy rather. So this little strip just fits in this fabulous little sentiment that says "with love on your special day." I'm just going to get that in the middle. My stomach's rumbling. I've been on here about 10 hours. Is that straight? Yeah, it's as near as damn it. So again with the ground espresso so it matches the sentiment inside, the verse inside. I will scroll through all these comments in a bit when we've finished. Oh, I think I've just moved that. Oh no, that's lovely. Oh, isn't that lovely? So I will choose a winner. So somebody is going to win one of those stamps. Put the clock right on the card. Put the clock right on the card. No, I want it skew with. I wanted it skew with. No, I wanted it skew with, so you see the 12. Did you not hear me when I stuck it on? I said I'm going to twist that round a bit. I wanted it skew with. Don't panic. Don't panic. Don't worry. Oops. You are funny. Now I did have a piece of craft card as a strip, but I've lost it. Right, so let's just make sure this is dry. Not quite. I'm just going to snip that. In fact, I might do it the other way. Let's do it the other way. I never do it this way. Oops, skew with. Oh, it's just getting worse. Hang on. That's better. I rarely do them that way. I normally do them the other way. So now I can pop in my lovely little sentiment. It's not quite dry yet. So it's not quite dry. So while I'm waiting, I don't want to smudge the ink and spoil this card. So let's start sticking some leaves in while I'm waiting. So the leaves are going on, which I never normally do this. I normally use the white glue to put my leaves on, but I am going to do these with the glue gel so I can tuck them in different positions. And there's no glitter on these leaves. None whatsoever. Might be later when you see a photo, but at the moment, none. Put one more up here, I think. Oh, thank you everybody. We've nearly done. I can't finish it until the sentiment's on, but the ink's not quite dry. I'm gonna have one just under there. I'm going to be really naughty and I'm going to take this 3-1. So we've actually taken the full thing and I'm now going to 2 because I can. I could even go 1. No, I don't think it needs it. Yeah, it does. Change my mind. Crafter's prerogative. We can do what we want. Tuck that one just under there. Right, come on, sentiment. So I'm just going to shape this a little bit and hope that it's dry. In fact, I'm going to do it like this. Normally I would use my bone folder and I would drag it along, but I'm just worried it's not 100% dry yet. So I'm just buckling the card a little bit. It's too long, I need to shorten that. If you can hear my stomach, ignore it. That's more like it. So let's go with that. Oops. You never said ouch like Julia when you tore a petal off. Right, let's get this on. So the sentiment will be glittered later. Oh, hang on, I've not put the glue in not put the glue gel in the right place. Let me give you a little tip there actually. I don't know whether you saw what I did. So I can't use the syringes anymore from Pinflair, as you know, because they hurt my thumb. So if you're using your cocktail stick, if you put your blob on and then just pull it up, you get a really high blob of glue look. And that's what you want when you're trying to do this. I'm going to move that down a little bit. Bear with me while I get this straight. So that needs to come off. I'll put it on here. Waste not, want not. Right, now you know why I saved these little flowers. With love on your special day. We'll have a white one there. And we'll have a craft one next to it. I can't see what you're saying, but I promise you I will look later when I sit and have a coffee. So if you've asked me any questions, I will look later. Right, we're getting there. We're getting there. So Dragonfly first. I'm going to have the Dragonfly there. And we are very nearly finished. So I'm just going to tuck in. I'm faffing now, but faffing is the bit that I enjoy the most. So I'm going to tuck in a few extra bits of this trellis dye. Oh, swine. Just because we can. Details, finishing touches. Right, we're getting there, we're getting there. Oh, thank you, Jean. My tongue out? it's not sad. Oh, that's 8. It don't matter which way you put your clock. Don't panic. So let's just finish off now with a couple of these little fronds. And I love these because I'm just using the tips again. Look, so it's just small details, but I like putting the details in. So let's have one under there. Come on. Catch the... there you go. Aren't the colours lovely? You know, when I started at the beginning, and I showed you that lovely, the verdigris with the vintage lavender. They just look amazing together. I'm going to put one more frond on, and I think that's enough. I'm not very good at less is more. No, I need one up there. Luckily there's one left. There we go. I think for me, making this kind of card on a live, I've showed you lots of different techniques on this. So it's not just sticking a card together like some that you see on telly. This is showing you how to use the lustre powders, how to use the grey board, the stamps, and there's a bit of glue still on there which is bugging me. That's the only problem with pin flare. If you get it where you don't want it, it leaves a greasy mark. So I'm just going to finish off with the other dragonfly inside. Yeah, I will. I wasn't going to do, but I am. And really, it should be up here. But if I can see it through there, it will bug me. So it's going to have to go. It's going to have to go there. Right, so we're nearly done, nearly done. I'm just going to finish off by giving you a little tip. another little tip. So you'll never get that off. So can you see that little greasy mark there from where the pin flare was underneath here? You'll never get that off. So when you see the photograph of this card later, I absolutely will have glittered around the craft edges, because that will just annoy me to death. And underneath here, I'm trying to be careful now, underneath here, look, is where I put the glue gel where I didn't need it. So the easiest way to get that off is to actually wait till it's set and use a dry bit of kitchen roll or a dry wipe, and it will just peel off. So I'm not going to do that now. I'm just going to finish off with a couple of little details. So we're going to have just a couple of little finishing touches. Remember as well, your wax pickup tool, you can pick bits of card up with it. So I'm using a couple of these diamonds that fell out of the die. Just make sure you got it the right way up. Oops. And then last but not least, you know I can't finish without a couple of random pearls. It's got to be 3. And then I promise you, I'm stopping. And we shall stop there. So, hopefully you've learned something while we've spent just over 2 hours on a Saturday afternoon. Does anybody know where the lid is for my glue? Here it is. So we'll just make a bit of space and I can show you this again properly. So it's a really simple card. Well, it's not simple, it's a simple shape of card, because we've just got the A5 folded back. So when this is set, I'm going to glitter the top, I'm going to glitter around the sentiment, but I'll just show you that in a little bit more detail. So remember, those flowers are coloured. Even the green on craft looks fabulous. Yeah. So remember, lustre powders. The lustre powders I've used are Verdigris and Vintage Lavender. The pearls that I've used are the Porcelain White. I didn't go for the Secret Escape because it was too different to green. And we've got that lovely verse inside with the dragonfly at the top. I might put a flower in there later. Remember, I had a spare one, so I might use that. And there you go. So hopefully you've learned something and you've enjoyed that. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. As you know, this is my comfort zone. What do you think, Jennifer? Look at that. That's half, well, it was half full. So we've got the Shabby Blooms and the Shabby Daisy dies. We've got the Special Day Verse, Shabby Dragonflies, Porcelain Pearls, Succulent Foliage, Floaty Fronds, the Trellis die, which is just tucked underneath the background for texture. And I will photograph this later once I've let it dry and I've glittered everything, and I will pop it on Facebook for you later. I'm going to share the video onto YouTube, so you can always get it from there as well. But remember, the videos do stay they do stay on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page anyway. So please make sure that if you haven't already, you can find me on Twitter, Phill Emma Martin. You can find me on Instagram, Phill M. Martin. You can find us on Facebook, which obviously most of you know, but Sentimentally Yours. And you can ask to join our fabulous crafters group, which just search for Crafting with Phill Martin and Sentimentally Yours on Facebook or on YouTube, and you will find me there as well. So have a lovely rest of the weekend, everybody. Everything that is in stock will be on the website. No, that's the wrong button I've just pressed. That's the right one. Everything that is in stock will be on the website. And I shall... Oh, I need to choose a winner. So somebody's going to win one of the big background stamps. You nearly let me go without doing it. So it might not necessarily be the vintage ledger, because we've got about 12 or 13 of the big background stamps now. But somebody in a second is going to win one. So when I choose your name, you have won one of my big background stamps. It'll be a random one, whichever one Karen chooses. And we will get that posted off to you next week. So I'm now just scrolling my mouse up and down, looking at the... Well, I can't read them because I'm going too quick. I'm whizzing through. So the person that has won the big background stamp is Elaine Whelan. I think I've pronounced that properly. So Elaine Whelan, congratulations, well done. Your name has stopped where my mouse was. So you have won one of my big background stamps. So please send an inbox message. Don't do it publicly. Please send an inbox message to either myself or Karen on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page or on the Honeypot Crafts Facebook page, and just tell us you've won on the Facebook Live, and we'll get one of these with your details, your address and everything, and we'll get one of these stamps posted off to you. So congratulations. Thank you everybody for staying for 2 hours and 12 minutes. I hope you've learned something and you like the card that I've made. I mean, how could you not? We only do stunning, we only do fabulous. So thank you everybody. Have a lovely rest of the weekend, and I will see you on Tuesday night at 7 PM live on YouTube. So thanks everybody. Bye.